Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into one of the coolest, most mind-bending frontiers in AI right now, AI agents. We are moving way beyond the simple chatbots we all know into systems that can actually reason, plan, and get this, take action all on their own.
All right, here's how we're going to tackle this. First up, we'll define what an AI agent even is. Then, we're going to peek inside the agent's mind to see how it thinks. From there, it's all practical stuff. We'll explore how you can actually build one, how to make it tough enough for the real world, and finally, we'll lay out a map of the whole framework landscape so you know exactly where to begin.
So first things first, what really separates an agent from the AI we're all so used to? Well, the difference is, it's fundamental. It's a total game changer.
Think about it. Most of the language models we use today are amazing conversationalists, right? You ask a question, you get a pretty good answer. But what if they could do more? What if they could actually do things for you, not just talk about them?
Well, that's exactly what an AI agent is. It's a system where the language model isn't just spitting out text. No, it's the actual brain of the operation. It's in the driver's seat, deciding what to do next. This is a huge shift from a passive tool that just answers questions to an active problem solver that can tackle complex goals.
So how does an agent actually do all this stuff? It's not magic. It really comes down to a few core components that give it these incredible new powers.
It really boils down to this trio of superpowers. An agent needs tools so it can actually interact with the outside world. It needs memory, so it has context and doesn't forget everything from one second to the next. And it needs a planning process so it can figure out its next move.
Tool calling is how the agent gets its hands dirty, Think of tools as the agent's special skills. One tool might let it browse the web. Another might connect to your calendar to book a meeting. A third could query a private database. The agent is smart enough to pick the right tool for the right job.
And just like you or me, an agent would be pretty useless without memory. It has short-term memory to keep track of what it just did in the current task, and it has long-term memory, which is so cool, because it lets the agent remember things from totally separate conversations, giving it context and a sense of history.
Finally, there's planning. This is the agent's internal thought process. It's basically running in a constant loop. Observe the situation, think about what to do next, and then act by calling the tool. And it just keeps doing that over and over until it's finally solved the problem you gave it.
Okay. So now we get it. We know what an agent is and what makes it tick. Now, if you're a developer and you're thinking, I want to build one of these, you have a really important choice to make right at the start.
You basically got two main roads you can go down. On one side, you have the managed service. Think of this like a paved highway. It's a guided, all-in-one path that gets you to your destination fast. On the other side, you've got the open source library. This is more like a custom workshop filled with every tool imaginable, giving you total control and flexibility.
A perfect example of that paved highway approach is AWS Bedrock Agents. It is designed to get you up and running as fast as humanly possible. You just give it the instructions and the tools, and the service handles all the complicated stuff, the orchestration, the deployment, all for you. It's a very structured, super efficient path to a working agent.
Now, for the custom workshop approach, you have these incredible open source frameworks like Strands and Crew AI. Strands is a super flexible, model-first SDK that gives you really fine-grained control. And Crew AI is really interesting. It's all about creating whole teams of agents that work together. This is the path you take when you want to build something totally custom.
The whole idea behind Crew AI is just fascinating. It's not about one agent doing everything. Instead, you build a whole crew. You might have one agent that's a specialist researcher, another that's a brilliant writer, and a third that's a meticulous editor. Then you set up a process that defines how they all collaborate to get the final job done. It's like building your own AI dream team.
All right, so building a cool prototype on your laptop, that's one thing. It's fun. But making an agent that works reliably, predictably, and safely out there in the real world, well, that's a completely different ballgame.
And this quote from Myra at AWS just hits the nail on the head. The single biggest headache for developers is this lack of visibility. When your agent goes off the rails and does something weird, it can feel almost impossible to figure out why.
And that is why observability is not just a nice to have, it's absolutely crucial. See, language models are non-deterministic, which is a fancy way of saying they might give you a different answer every time, even for the same exact input. That makes them super unpredictable. Observability is what turns that black box into a glass box, so you can actually see what's going on inside.
The solution is something called a trace. Instead of just guessing why your agent messed up, tools like Langsmith give you a beautiful, clear, step-by-step log of its entire thought process. You can see every single model it called, every tool it used, how long it took, how much it costs. It completely changes the game for debugging.
Okay, now that we've covered the what, the how, and the why, let's zoom out one last time. Let's create a sort of mental map of this huge, growing ecosystem of agent frameworks.
You can kind of break down this whole landscape by what you're trying to do. If you're building a general-purpose agent or something with retrieval-augmented generation, you're going to look at workhorses like LangChain or Llama Index. If you want to orchestrate teams of agents, that's where CrewAI or AutoGene shine. Need to make sure your agent stays safe and on task? There are special guardrail frameworks for that. And if you're more of a visual person, there are even low-code tools like Flowice.
Look, the key takeaway here is not to go out and memorize every single one of these frameworks. Don't worry about that. The real goal is to have this map of what's possible. It's about understanding the categories of tools out there, so when you have a specific job to do, you know exactly what kind of tool to look for.
So, let's just recap. We've seen that agents are this massive leap forward. They can use tools, they can work together in teams, they can tackle these crazy multi-step problems that were pure science fiction for AI just a little while ago. This just blows the doors wide open on what's possible. So the only real question left is, what amazing problems are you going to solve?